And hello YouTube, this is Thomas Judge. And this is going to be a first for the channel. I'm actually doing an unboxing today. And what I'm unboxing isn't even comic book related. Today I'm going to be unboxing a video game encyclopedia by the company Bitmap Books. For those of you that know Bitmap Books, they do loads of really cool coffee table books, so I'll add this to my coffee table book playlist. And what I have here is the latest book that they've done, which is about run and gun shooters. It literally came out on Monday. I ordered it, it arrived yesterday, and I'm doing an unboxing video. So let's kick off. It turns up with this kind of packaging, which is all very cool. It's all kind of custom printed. Standard Amazon style, rip it open and it's all fine. I wanted to do the unboxing from this point just to show you how bomb-proof this packaging is. So, yeah, look at this. Look at this. Like that is wild. That is just absolutely wild how well they package this stuff. It's awesome. I've got a couple of their books in the past, and I'll tell you this. This packaging they use, it's very reusable. Like this stuff, I've used this to sell comic book omnibuses, and it's just like top tier. I mean, this stuff, they could have dropped it from a height and it would have been fine. They didn't. It gets delivered by, I think it's by DPD, but either way, it gets delivered very promptly, very well by drivers using eco-friendly cars, so that's all very cool. And then the book is here. Look at this. Look at the love in this. If you want to gift this to someone, you're done. You're done. This is ready to gift. It already has the cool little wrapping paper. It's already sticking up. It's packed much better than I would pack it. I have a tendency that if I pack a book, it ends up looking like it's a football. So let's move this out of the way. Alright, let's look under the hood. So this is a book written by a guy called Dave Cook. Dave Cook has also written a previous Bitmap book called Go Straight, which was all about, I guess, belt scrollers, or essentially beat-em-up games, but not one-on-one beat-em-up games, ones that were scrolling fighter games. So essentially things like Streets of Rage, things like Guardian Heroes, but he literally covers hundreds, absolutely hundreds of books. And Go Straight was an excellent read, highly recommended. And this one is Run and Gun, A History of On-Foot Shooters. So, let's slide this paper out of the way. I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but it feels like it would be remiss of me to just throw this out. So hang on, I'm just going to put this away. And now what we have is Run and Gun, A History of On-Foot Shooters. Now, it's wrapped in like cling film or cellophane, the usual. But look at this. Nice, clean front and back. Alright, let's pop this open. As always, kids, when using a knife, be very careful. There we go. Get this cellophane off. Dave Cook's a really nice guy. I met him at a couple of Comic Cons. He hasn't known it's me. Why would he? But I met him at a couple of Comic Cons and said hi. Really nice, really friendly guy. Quite a nice Twitter channel, or X channel, given what hell site that website is. And actually, when he originally said this was something that he was starting to do after doing the Go Straight book, I actually ended up having a Twitter conversation with him where I was kind of like thinking of what defined a run and gun shooter, and ended up having a bit of a Twitter thread with him about whether or not any game where you were throwing something and hitting people to kill them counted. So we ended up talking about Shinobi, for example, where you're throwing shuriken. And I said, actually, he's running around throwing an infinite amount of shuriken. Does that mean that Shinobi was a run and gun shooter? So he actually mentions that a couple of times in his on his Twitter, and actually in like a little video he dropped about this book yesterday. So just wanted to put my hand up. It's me, I'm the Shinobi guy. Here we have the contents. It's arranged by decade, starting in the 80s. I've literally never looked at this before, but it looks brilliant. And then what he does is he also says that where these games are available. So if you want to play them now, he's got a platform key of where you can get hold of them now, whether it's the arcade, Switch, whatever. As usual, for those of you that don't know, Bitmap books have really good, high quality production values, and this will be no different. preface by Dave Cook. I look forward to reading that. Oh, Gunstar Heroes, Metal Slug. I mean, these are the giants of the genre. Forward by KJ Inafune. Now that is really impressive. Because this dude is like the Mega Man legend himself. Getting a forward by him must have been quite a coup. Yeah. Cuphead, not played it, do own it. For anyone who's watched my channel and seen any of my other gaming videos, I don't do many of them. That's a general trend. Own it, haven't played it. What is a run and gun game? I think I'm probably to blame for this section, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's a fair question. I think before you start something like this, you have to kind of define what you're looking for. And then on we go. How did the genre start? So yeah, it's the same with the Go Straight book and the beat 'em up belt scroller book, where he talks about the history of how it started and so on before he starts diving into individual games. So right here we have it. Oh, it's an interesting format. It's got tabs on the side and then it's got the text like this. Now his previous book wasn't quite arranged like this, but this actually is a different size and orientation entirely. It's much more landscape, whereas the other one was a much more conventional portrait book. So let's just start flicking through. I'm not going to go through it in excruciating detail because that would make an incredibly long video and also kind of like renders the idea of buying it moot. What I would say is that if you do buy this, something Bitmap Book to do is that they will immediately at the same time, like immediately within 5 minutes, send you a copy protected PDF of the book itself. So I've actually had this since Monday, but I haven't spoiled the surprise by reading the PDF. I've been waiting for the physical one to turn up, and it literally turned up a day or so later. So yeah, here we have it. Really nicely produced, loads of information. Dave Cook's a really good writer. He doesn't necessarily write everything in the book. If this is anything like his Go Straight book, it might have a couple of guest writers that do the occasional review here and there. But he will have written sort of 80-90% of it. So it's got a really consistent tone and really consistent kind of editorial and authorial voice. Super Contra. I remember playing this as Super Probotector on the SNES here in the UK. Yeah, really, really looking forward to this. This is exactly what I had hoped and anticipated for. As ever, I only really do videos on my channel if I know they're things that other people haven't got on YouTube. So I would never normally bother with something like an unboxing video. But actually, Bitmap books are surprisingly underrated and kind of under-profiled. So I thought, why not? Also, Dave Cook seems to be a nice dude, so why on earth not? I was going to open it anyway, right? I've been getting into these sorts of games hugely, to be honest, and I guess it's because of the whole, getting into retro gaming over the last couple of years. But Go Straight was a book that I bought. This is the beat 'em up book. This is a book that I bought when I was just getting back into kind of retro gaming, and I've gone back to it and referred to it again and again and again to remind myself and give myself ideas of what are the books and what are the games rather to play from the beat 'em up genre. And as a result, I've started sliding into the run and gun genre like this anyway. So there's quite a lot that I now know about the run and gun genre. But that said, I'm sure this is going to show me loads of things that I didn't know. And I've gotten kind of addicted to kind of going through in a slightly encyclopedic format and trying to track things down and just playing them all. So I'm really, really getting excited about this. Yeah, really happy to have this in my collection. I don't know what the plan is next for the kind of encyclopedia books. In my mind, I've got kind of a couple of ideas that would be awesome. I'd love to see a book just covering every 1v1 fighter. So not like belt scrollers like Streets of Rage, but like 1v1 like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. But, all the arcade variations, of which there are so many. But do you know what? I suspect that's probably too big a task, to be honest. How does the book sit? It sits flat. Nice. No gutter loss. Decent binding. Yeah, liking this. So that's one thing that I would really like to see. I'd really like to see an encyclopedia of sort of one-on-one fighters, which I think would be very, very cool. I'm also quite getting into shmups. Now, I'm terrible at shmups, but shmups are things like Radiant Silvergun, Ikaruga, so they're not run and guns at all because you're not an individual. It's kind of like just a spaceship either shooting up, like a cave shooter, or sometimes across. But I'm getting quite into those as well. And there's a whole shmup wiki that I've been sort of reading and following and stuff. So maybe a book like that would be quite cool. Those are both really massive tasks though, because they're huge genres. I love the artwork. I love the way they kind of put this together. It's just really well consistently composed. And already I have seen dozens of things that I'm interested in. Midnight Wanderers, never heard of. Desert Assault, never heard of. I don't even know what this is, but it looks interesting. Like already I can see that there's a huge amount of benefit in having bought this. But yeah, like I say, those would be great ideas for future books. Something that the author sort of teased on his Twitter a bit ago was the idea of doing a much more recent contemporary book for, say, the Xbox 360 and PS3 era. And that would be things like games like Inversion and Singularity and Fracture. And the idea, I think he mentioned, was that it'd be called something like Jank Champs. So games that weren't AAA, so not like Call of Duty, but were actually pretty good. And I think that would actually be a fascinating book as well, because some of my favourite games ever, I guess, would be described as that. One of my favourite games of all time is a game called Quantum Theory, which got absolutely torn apart in the reviews. But actually, it was really good. Contra, the Alien Wars. I've got the whole Contra collection on the Nintendo Switch, and I've played it a bit, but I really need to sort of get into it and dive into it. Games from this era, though, it's a whole different level of difficulty. Like, you just cannot conceive. Like, really just hardcore gaming. Terminator, the tie-in franchise era. Dinosaurs for Hire, I've got that on my Mega Drive. This is brilliant. This is really, really good. Yeah, so he was thinking of doing this book called Jank Champs, which I think would be really interesting. But again, who knows whether or not it's actually going to happen. Ranger X, I remember playing that. Oh, god damn, that is a good game. Such a good game. Cool Spot. Yeah, Cool Spot is not a shoot 'em up. Is Cool Spot a shoot 'em up? Surely it's a platformer. Oh, I need to check that out. Okay. Okay. Mega Man, Robocop versus Terminator. Excellent comic. Don't know about the game. And then, yeah, continuing. Mystic Warriors, never even heard of it, but it looks good. Love this 90s pixel art. So good, so timeless. They could do so much with so little. Ah, here we have it. The King. It might not even be a stretch to argue it's one of the best games ever made. Yeah, no doubt. Gunstar Heroes. This was it. One of the best games ever made. One of the very few gaps in my Mega Drive collection. My Mega Drive physical collection has only got about 6-7 games in it. I've got the Earthworm Jims. I've got the Streets of Rage trilogy. I need Gunstar Heroes. I want Legend of Thor. Cannot wait to read this. Look at this. Look how wonderful this is as a coffee table book. If you haven't got a coffee table, go out and buy one just to put this book on it. Earthworm Jim. This was off the hook. Right, there better be Earthworm Jim 2. Where's Earthworm Jim 2? Alright, he's doing it not alphabetically, he's doing it by year. He's doing it by year. So it'll be later. Yeah. Rapid Reload. Now this was excellent. Anyone that's got the PS1, it didn't have any way you could save it. So it was annoyingly difficult as a result, but there we are. Cool. What can I say? Alien Soldier, classic treasure game. This is great. I mean, I know some people will be like, oh, it's a paper book, it's physical media, I don't like it. Like I say, you can just get the PDF version, and then you can sell this on eBay if you want. But this is beautiful. The whole point of books like this is about sort of celebrating retro gaming, the physicality of retro gaming, and having this as a paper coffee table book. Oh man, he goes properly in depth in all the Metal Slug games. Brilliant. Metal Slug's a brilliant franchise. Again, timeless art style, timeless approach. Yeah. Cannon Spike. You play as Street Fighter characters on roller skates using machine guns. I remember trying to explain to people about 10 years ago, like I used to play a game called Cannon Spike and that was the premise, and everyone was like, yeah, no, that you've clearly made this up as a fever dream. Anyway, so yeah, just continuing on. Oh, Dolphin Blue, the classic Atomic Wave legend. Loads of fun. Absolutely loads of fun. More Metal Slug games. Neo Contra. Oh, what is this? Oh, Gunstar Superheroes. I have this, but I haven't played it. Oh, dude. Awesome. Okay. More Contra games. Man, this book is just brilliant. This is all I'm already loving it, and I haven't actually read any parts of it yet. Yeah, no, this looks great. Hotline Miami. I wonder if he includes the Hong Kong Massacre. If you're going to include Hotline Miami, you have to include Hong Kong Massacre because it is basically the same game but just way cooler, with an absolutely banging soundtrack. But we will see. We will see. Well, we may not see because I'm flicking over several pages at a time. But here we have it. So if you were worried that this was just going to be nothing but pictures and not much reportage and not much comprehensive kind of coverage, well, hopefully those concerns have been put to rest. A Cuphead article. Makes sense if you had the creators in there at the beginning. Yeah, cannot recommend this enough. Haven't even read it, but this is absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, a brilliant purchase. It was £34. I bought it from their website. It's still available to purchase. I would strongly recommend doing it. If you enjoy shooting games of any kind, this looks like the absolute top tier sort of coffee table media. If you're not into shooting games, you're into fighting games, then please do check out Go Straight. Spider Saws. I have purchased this from someone online, one of these limited run sort of companies. And I bought it like a year and a half ago and it still hasn't turned up. And I might goddamn cancel it actually. Alright, I'll read this first. Oh, Hong Kong Massacre. Dave Cook. Well done, sir. Well done. Good. Brilliant game. I don't care what his opinion is, I'm telling you right now, you should play this. And listen to the music. And then the most recent years, taking us up to 2023. I probably know none of these games. So that's it. That's the entirety of the book. It's excellent. It is packed wall to wall. So look at this. Look at this. Thicker than a pile of divorce papers. So, yeah, if you were on the fence or if you weren't sure what this was, now you know. And if you know, you know. Go to the Bitmap Books website, pick it up. It's £34. Highly recommended. I don't often do unboxings on my channel. I basically probably won't do them again. But this was definitely worth it.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. As always, please follow me on Twitter at I am Thomas Judge, where I will post a daily review of whatever comics I've been reading. You can get an idea of what I'm up to on the channel. And as always, please support the channel by heading over to Amazon.com and checking out my prose novel about superheroes. It's a completely original piece of work. The first episode in it is called Arrivals, and the series as a whole is called No Gods or Kings. You can find an excerpt of that on my website, nogodsorkings.com. Until next time, everybody, stay classy.